Oh, what is up, everybody? And for this video, it's going to be a very special MAOKAI jungle one. You're probably wondering why MAOKAI. Well, MAOKAI just got buffed, and so did tank junglers in the current patch. And honestly, MAOKAI jungle feels way better with the Q buff. His clear speed is dramatically faster, and that's usually the biggest weakness when you're trying to play him. And here are the runes and items. I'm gonna just one thing, you have to start E level 1 if you want to be a really efficient clear on MAOKAI, and you just want to start throwing your saplings right around 1 minute, and you just want to make sure you get it right here in this position. I'm going to show you all 3 positions on the sapling. I tried Q star, but the fact that you can get 3 saplings and almost 4 off of potentially only 1 Q spell effect, the E star at level 1 does feel like it gives you a clear speed advantage. So here you just want to get 3 down, and you're going to be throwing them in a line, so they just generally, you kite so you get the damage over time effect to maximize it. So here you just throw one, and then you're going to throw another one here, and you want this guy to aggro it, and then this is when you start pulling, and you just want to get as much value as possible. And the last one you're going to get here. Because I did so much damage already, we're just going to throw another one, and we're going to let this do the rest of the damage. And you're just going to be smiting the Krug here. You're just going to pull it around here. It's going to get a decent amount of damage, and you're just going to kill the babies at the very end. If you don't get a leash, you can always smite the red too. Solo MAOKAI clear is honestly not that bad with the whole new jungle and the way it is. So here you're just going to throw and just get them all lined up. You do Raptors incredibly fast when you're playing MAOKAI, so don't worry at all. His clear is just super nice. Here you're just gonna kite and just let it all finish. Actually, my Q is so fucking strong, and that it just kills it to go. You're gonna do 2 points Q to maximize your clear speed. We're going for a full clear into a gank angle. MAOKAI is a full clear jungler. You can see how much more damage your Q actually does now. So build paths, like I'm gonna touch on it. Sunfire got buffed, so Sunfire is just very strong. Sunfire with Jack Show just means MAOKAI is actually just a monster right now. So, and here you're just gonna Q. There is a bit of a... They did change the way leash range works. You can't really double jungle, but you can kind of do it at the very end of it. So here I'll probably start getting ready to pull this camp here with how much Q damage I do. It's just insane value. So you can see how fast MAOKAI can actually clear it. It's relatively good, and it just gets faster as you get your first few buys. And here we're going to be on a really good timer. We're going to pot up. We want to stay healthy, right? Potentially for the crab and potentially for the gank timer. So there are a few options here. I want to just always play around bot side if they're going to play aggressive. We're going to set up a first sapling to see how the tri-brush situation is. Potentially might be warded here, so we're just going to back up. And we're going to play for the crab timer, and then we're just going to do the crab and maybe look for a mid gank. This guy's quite low, so we might be able to get one going here. Whenever you're doing MAOKAI, just make sure you just throw saplings wherever into brushes to get kind of like a vision advantage, stuff like that. Here I'm going to play for here. This guy has no flash, so we should be able to get him. He is running, but he's going to run directly into the future sapling that we spoke about. Because I am a future teller. And bars shuts us down. We were able to save our spells, so it's not a big deal. And here we're just going to get our buy. Here we just get Bambi Cinder plus boots. If we don't have enough for Bambi Cinder and boots, you can always just go for CDR boots rush. It's also a very good buy. But generally you do want at least tier 1 boots if you can. Or just a straight Bambi Cinder is alright. But your build path is going to be Sunfire Rush into... Don't get baited by this hard steel item. It's actually trash. But Jack Show will be our second item. That's God tier. And we're going to be pretty much God tier level. And the pace of the game is just going to go faster. The Phase Rush, you could go Aftershock or Phase Rush. Phase Rush, think about it like this. It gives you more utility. It gives you more potential to run people down. Stuff like that. It has its strengths and weaknesses. I personally don't. I think soloq you can get a lot of value having the Phase Rush with people. It's much more has some early game value. Here I'm gonna get 2 points. We're gonna kill the Zeri. She flashed, so we're gonna punish her. When you're ganking, you have a few ways to gank. Just make sure you just pay attention to summoner spells. Here, no abilities. You want to walk up to push them farther away, which is the game plan usually. And that's just good value for us. And you just got proc after proc after proc. That's just the Maokai jungle being really good with the passive procs. And you're going to be scaling very strongly as the game progresses. So it depends on the game. CDR boots usually quite strong. Depends on the game though. Tabbies. Rushing tabbies, I'm not a big fan. I don't think. Unless your tier 2 boots is, for example, really important to have that fast. I'd rather just finish my Sunfire first. Tabbies is good this game though. We might go for tabbies instead of CDR boots. Though I do find myself really liking the CDR boots to speed up your clear. But Maokai clear is actually quite fast. That we might be able to go to tabbies this game. So just think about that. Usually it's going to be tabbies or CDR boots. I don't really find myself going Merc as much, but you just have to adjust for the game. But I would say like 70% of the time you should buy CDR boots early. Here we're really close to 6. Might be able to get some going right here. Mundo is on the clears. Here we just want to push him farther away from his team. And just keep bashing him down. Might be able to get the Bard here. Ooh, not close enough. You know your boy loves to play aggressive, and we just got the level 6, so I was thinking about it. When you kill the other jungler, when you have prio like this, always play for that Drake. It's super free to do. It's super free and it's super easy with like any sort of support. I know the other jungler is dead, so there's no one who can really stop us on the dragon. The first dragon is quite easy to do. And whether just throw saplings into positions that I think might be. I'm gonna just throw some more saplings into the brush areas, kind of progress myself. Sunfire is really cheap now, so you just want to farm up for the Sunfire. It gives you a lot of stats now compared to before. You know, I said it was a trash item, but it was a trash item. But that's why they buffed it, and it honestly got a lot of value. 100 HP plus 100 gold cheaper it's really good early game because it saves you a lot of money to get into the Jack Show now. Compared to before, where you didn't really have, it wasn't good for the value. And with the new jungle buffs now, having armor and MR just speeds up your clear. I think junglers are going to be able to clear quite fast. And here we do have the buy, so we're just going to reset and buy our mythic, or not mythic, but our Sunfire item. This is where you're actually very strong now. But like I said, CDR boots would help you get into the early game faster. And when you play Maokai jungle, it's not really about being like a super god early game snowballing crazy. It's just about being very, you're a scaling champion. You're going to scale really well. 1 to 2 item spike, very tanky. We're going to have our tabbies this game. And we're going to be pretty much invincible, so that's kind of the general game plan when you're playing him. Just make sure you hit your Qs, and the way you see me W people, I always go behind them right after and then hit them with that Q to knock them farther away from their team. Here, we're just going to get the red to be very combat ready, and then we're going to go look for some fights. So here we get our red. We can always go back to clear our top side, so it's not a big deal. We're just going to keep slowing, get the red buff. Always knock them backwards. We got a runner here, but yeah, it's not happening. Look at how I kite. You know, really, I'm always looking for these flank saplings, these future saplings, like where I can predict the future on them. Whenever you're ease up, you're just in random positions. Don't throw. You guys would usually just E to help you clear up. No, you have to think about positions, like controlling. Your sapling is a ward, and it's also a position maker. You don't need to throw it to help you do like Herald and stuff, or Dragon, or stuff like that. You can just always throw it to set up better positions. set up flanks, you know, to give you control. You know, like, this is my domain. Look how much control I have in this area. This is how you want to kind of set up your sap lanes. So really think about this kind of stuff when you're doing objectives. You're going down mid, so I'm gonna just look for an angle here. I might flash to get on her. I got a long range one coming in. And we got it. Oh, she hit me with that. Ah, this dirty little bard, man. I wish my team came faster. Mundo does pack a little bit of punch. Mostly magic damage, though. Cleavers, they heard. And that's what we're going to be getting our next item, which is the Jack Show. So Jack Show, you have a few options to build path. I like getting the Kindle Gem because you do need ability haste early. But if you have enough to get the Legion right away, it's always much better. But because of the situation, we're just going to get a Kindle Gem. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely useless. Yeah, Sunfire has good value. It's efficient item, guys. It's very efficient. Jack Show, it's a strong item, but it's not as good, I would say, to rush because it's really not going to give you that much good value early game, but it's a good second item. That's the way I look at a Jack Show. I think Jack Show is an incredible second item. But if I was to have ability, like if I had CDR boots here, I would be, you know, speeding up my... I would be clearing really quickly. That's just something to remember. Here I'm going to throw up a lot of my saplings in farther positions to kind of just have, you know, angles. We're just really beating them down. It's slow and steady, really. We're just a tanky monster. As you can see, you know, unbeatable, unbreakable. Okay. The Sunfire does give you that bit of a damage you might be lacking too if you don't know. You don't have that kill threat damage. As you can see, it already has done 700. It's really, Sunfire does rack up a lot when you stack it. So the scaling part of it is going to give you a lot of damage. Here I just want to get my Herald and get some plate value. I'm going to drop it here. Herald doesn't do as much as you would expect it. It got nerfed, so here we're just going to break the last blade. And then I'll probably go off and do Dragon. I'm a bit low for Drake, though, so it might be hit or miss here. But I might just get some berries. With berries, we should be able to do this. Well, I think MAOKAI jungle is actually very strong. I think tanks are actually very strong. I think this build path, you can try it on a lot of junglers. The tank ones, like Zac, I think is really strong too right now. Second item, Jack Show with Sunfire is just very good. Here we have Empower Smite, so we can just smite at 1200. Oh, we have 900. He's actually going for the gank. We might have an R angle here. I'm going to set up an angle on the Q. Get it. Actually, they all live too. Poor little Ezreal. You should have baited them longer, man. I did as much damage as I could. Here we're going to reset. We're going to spend our money. We're really working on the Jack Show buy. We're going to have to... Could get the Aegis. Aegis is very OP. Always buy this over the Kindle Gem if you can buy it. And one pink ward is usually pretty good. I didn't have that much mana going into the fight, so because I soloed Drake. But usually junglers should not have... You're not going to have mana problems, so it's not a big deal. It shouldn't really be a concern for you about going as a jungler. Yeah, the Sunfire really gets the damage when we are able to stack it up 6 stacks. So think about it like the longer fights, you're gonna see a lot of big differences. See if the karma runs to me, maybe I can save it here. But you know your boy is unbeatable. I'm a fucking legend. Passive. Ah, bro, I'm a goddamn storyteller, man. I'm so good at the kiting. But if I had Jack Show, I'd live there. Don't have enough stats, tanky stats. Also, Zeri's kind of broken right now. Yeah, I was hoping we'd be ready to fight there. Syndra just kind of got flanked and died. I have Jack Show now, so I'll be very tanky in fights. And really, the second, third item depends. Really depends on how you want to build. We're never going to be able to stack a tier. My team's griefing. I'm just going to go farm bot side. Abyssal Mask is actually a very strong item. For MR, don't underestimate Abyssal Mask. It's a very strong DPS item. I might be going for it next. It's a very good item. For armor, I don't know exactly how I want to build. Stormmail is not too bad as well. Those CDR boots early game does help you clear a lot faster, so remember that. If you're looking for something to help you have more Q cooldowns, CDR boots will. It synergizes really good, really well as a Sunfire build. Here we're just gonna spend this time to farm, and then we're gonna look to be really aggressive after because we have our second item spike. Well, we're mostly playing for Drake, so I'm just gonna ping it so my team can learn. It doesn't actually put out a vote anymore, which is really nice. So we're just gonna be in the area and just look to fight. Maybe look to pick the Bard. Like remember, we're not like a DPS heavy champion. We're more of just a slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. But if anyone face checks us, they are completely doomed. We're gonna set up an ult here. Ooh, I ulted him out of that. Beautiful. See, you just have to really angle those Qs to get them into position. And you move a bit kite afterwards for those E's. Definitely going to be going here. Got the slowdown. Maybe he might be out of reach now. Here we're going to play for the Drake. No, not a big deal though. We're doing great. Set up a bit of a push. He might be face striking here. We can actually get a fight going. He is a bit tanky. We gotta use a bit of our juice here. But we should be able to kill him. Once I get my slows going, he's just unready to take me on. This is where the Sunfire is gonna start getting value. Really, the Sunfire is mostly about being able to clear fast. It's just important to keep your speed. And when you have it stacked up, it does a really high amounts of damage, as you can see. Those long fights are going to have really good value from your Sunfire. This game should be free, though, if you get an Ocean, so it's actually really good with MAOKAI. Usually, I don't cast W when I'm jungling and I'm on the Drake. It makes little difference for damage. Ooh. Actually tried to steal me. Looks like they're going for someone else. Can I get a what? Oh, what? I'm flanking. Your boy's flanking. They've killed me. They've killed your boy. They've killed me, man. I was gonna W the cannon, but they one-shotted. They've killed your son, man. So, honestly, Abyssal Mass is not bad. Whether I need it now, it kind of depends. I do like it now with a bit of MR, maybe. Not too much matters damage on the enemy team, though. Might actually optimize for an armor item first. So armor items, Randuin's... It is not bad this game, but Randuin's did kind of get nerfed, so I don't know. I think Grievous is better for me this game. I do like Thornmail. I do like Thornmail. I think Randuin's... I don't know. 3,000, it's more expensive. It doesn't really do as much as I was hoping it would do. I kind of like the old Randuins. It gave a lot more armor. But now I guess it reduces crit, but... I might buy it if I need another armor item. But the point of the game, we're not really looking to farm that much. Not looking to farm that much. We're just gonna clear out wards and just be ready to fight. It's more about the group phase. We do want to fight. Fiora died, or whoever that was died. Drake's 2 minutes. We can technically go in here and fight. I might be able to get the Fiora if she stays. She might greed. Players are quite greedy nowadays. Do you think she can take on your boy? She actually almost did. Fiora ulti is a bit broken. Goddamn. We're playing for Thornmail, 1500. Now Drake's 1 minute. We're playing for Drakes, you know, it's really about playing objectives. Well, MAOKAI is so good at it, is just playing for these objectives. Is what I find to be. And here we're just obviously not trying to do too much. We'll just get our timing, base, and we'll be good to go. Now we'll have our item. I'm gonna ping Drake. You always let 1 minute before objectives. You really need to let your team know because they will grief. So you have to let them know that it's objective time. So it's very important. Let's see how much Thornmail does. I think it's good this game because of how much healing my team has. I hate whoever pinged that. Bro, come. I want Dragon Soul. We can win. It's 4v4, you animals. That's actually kind of low. Setting up as much damage as we can. Look how much damage we're getting done though. Insane though, value. Like we're just a god. Maybe even bigger than a god. Maybe a demigod. Oh, that roots keeps it going. Here we're always going to knock them towards our team. I'm just going to keep chasing. As long as we're in range to get our Thornmail. Yeah. Thornmail is really good, by the way. With how much... Just amplifying our damage is what's really important. It just allows us to really get very high value. Like, at this point, I don't think anyone's going to kill me. With our Jack Shows fully stacked up too, like I'm tanking tower for like a year and a half. I can make a phone call while I'm doing this too. I'm like literally perma-tanking. I'm a fucking god, that's what I'm saying, bro. Jack Show is so good with this build. And if I need an MR, I would probably go Shadow Flame, or not Shadow Flame, the Disc Mass. Thornmail is really good. And if I wanted, for example, another armor item, Randuin's not that bad. Randuin's would be not that bad. And if I need another MR item, like Spear Visage would be okay. Also Nature as well, not bad. Hope you guys liked that video. See, this is my MAOKAI jungle. I think it's a very strong pick, so I do recommend him for a lot of players. Just make sure you kind of build the same way I did, and I think you guys will have a fantastic game. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe and like, comment too, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.